So if we want to diversify our revenues today, we can quite easily do that. We have quite a large number of portfolio products. We have CoinMarketCap. When we acquired CoinMarketCap, they were making $3 million US per month in ad revenues. We removed all ads. So there's no banners, no pop-ups, no other projects advertising the ICO on CoinMarketCap. It's a much cleaner experience. We can turn that back on. That'll give us $40 million a year. But we don't need to today. We have Trust Wallet. We can charge a little fee for transactions. We don't need to. So I think today we're still profitable. We're still very healthy. And we want to lower the barrier, the friction for people using crypto tools. We want to get more people to use crypto. So today we don't see the need. But if we do, we have many products. Right now we're single revenue, but we're not single product. We have many products we provide for free, just to increase the speed of adoption. But if we want to monetize those, we could. Some of them I can do mental mathematics and kind of have some suspicions, but it's very difficult to not understand what's going on in a different platform, in a different business. For me, I was very surprised by the amount of money that they lost and the amount of customer funds they moved and the state of things there. Before this, I can do some mental mathematics. Based on our revenue, we can and our relative size, and we can estimate their revenue, which is quite small because they charge lower fees. We know most of their public spendings. We know how much they spend on, stadium naming rights, referee jerseys, marketing budgets, etc. We also know how much funds they raised, which is not much, to be honest. And then we also know we kind of have a rough idea, but we never know for sure because they could be doing something different. Well, that's pretty much 90-something% of our revenue. So it goes up and down with the Bitcoin price. The Bitcoin price is pretty much an industry index, and being a larger player in the industry, we follow that pretty closely. But that we're okay. So we still run a profitable business today. We're okay. Yeah, I do. So we do recommend that. But understand that FTX has been gap audited in the U.S., right? So they somehow fake that and somehow fool the auditors. So just in this particular case, I'm not sure. I think those things, more audits are really good, but I'm not sure if they will prevent this particular case because we never know how this one guy will react to that. I wouldn't say prevent 100%, but it could have reduced the chance of that happening. If we had stronger audit on reserves, on how money is used, how client funds are saved, if we had more of those mechanisms, this thing probably could have been prevented or reduced. It's never 100%. When a guy wants to lie, there's many different ways he could fake the data, give you false information, etc. So I think regulations help, but it's never 100%. I think we're still very healthy financially. We're quite solid. We have a fairly large cash reserves, which we use for acquisitions, investments, and helping other projects. On a day-to-day operations, we're still profitable. So I don't see any need for turning on other revenue matrices. Yeah, that's absolutely a valid concern. I think all of those, and that concern applies to every business, not just in crypto. So I think as consumers, when we're using platforms, especially if you're storing money onto a platform, including a bank, you should ask those questions. So I think those are very valid questions. But in the blockchain world, things can be much more transparent. So we're doing that proof of reserves, which using like Merkle tree, so that people can verify that the assets are included, and we have full reserves. So there are many ways to be more transparent. We publish our cold wallet addresses. We are now working with multiple regulators all around the world on how to do this audit more transparently and more automatically. So we're doing a number of those things, but every user should verify on their own. And if you don't trade often and you can hold crypto on your own, do hold crypto on your own. But holding crypto on your own also have certain risks. So but we want to be as transparent as possible. The risk is always there. But I think today, Binance, we have 100% reserve for user assets. Operating assets are completely separate. We have a large reserve for that as well. So I think, knock on wood, we are in a we're in a very different situation than FTX. But just because one company is mismanaged in an industry doesn't mean every other company is mismanaged. Binance is not banned from operating in the UK, Binance does not have a license to operate in the UK. That's different from being banned.
Sure.
UK as a Commonwealth country allows reverse solicitation. As long as we don't solicit, like advertise in UK, if a UK user come to us, it's fine. We're the most licensed platform in the world globally. We have 15 licenses globally. Many countries haven't issued that many licenses. So that's just a state of things today in the world. We are working collaboratively with the FCA. We have ongoing dialogues with them. We would like to get the license, but today we haven't got it yet. But we're not banned. Those things are different. So don't take what the news too verbatimly. And in the U.S., we have Binance US has 44 state licenses. 10 of them are granted in the last 12 months. So that basically shows you the status of things in the US. But people will work together. As soon as two people work together, is that centralization or not? That is kind of centralization. And if a company of 2,000 people works together and they build a platform that many other people like to use, in a free market, there will be some centralization. And so decentralization doesn't mean everyone just are completely isolated and everyone's equal. That's communism. That's different from capitalism. That's different from free market. So this decentralization versus centralization concept should be viewed in a balance. Today, we have centralized entities in both the traditional financial world and also in the also in the crypto world. And tomorrow it's going to be the same thing. Hopefully, over time, the technology will allow more of the tasks to be able to be done by individuals, so that we are moving towards decentralization. Today, if you ask everybody in the world who does not have crypto to hold crypto on their own, they're not technically capable of doing that. I think you and I know that already, right? So if we just force people to go from banks directly to DeFi, most of them will lose their own money because they misplaced it, or they lost their device, or they don't know how to encrypt it, etc. So that's not the best way to grow the industry. So today, more people will be more comfortable with email address, customer support. So this is why centralized entities still exist. So I think it will coexist for a while. We have Trust Wallet, which is a decentralized wallet. We contribute to multiple blockchains. There's always more opportunities in the future than there were in the past. Just because we have one business that's making money today doesn't mean we'll have to hold on to it forever. There will be more business models that we can make money in the decentralized world too. That could be even more valuable. So but it's just the market for that is small today. So we're not working on that today, but it doesn't mean we can't work out on that tomorrow. So we're really not afraid of losing a centralized exchange business when the time comes. There'll be many things to do. Many other exchanges potentially may have exposure to FTX going down. Now, FTX going down, there's rumors of Genesis Genesis paused withdrawals, so there's rumors of their liquidity issues there. And now Gemini may be affected by that. So there's multiple interdependencies in the ecosystem. I think people should look for much more independent, well-run, isolated businesses, which Binance.com is one of those examples. We don't rely on other third-party loan providers, etc. So, and the loan business is high risk in the industry. So any loan platforms are at high risk. I'm not saying that all of them are going to have problems. A few may, most of them will be fine. So other than that, I don't like this in any industry, especially a new one like ours. There's many risks. Even in the internet industry, there's many risks. In the traditional industry, there's many risks. So yeah, I mean, in Lebanon, the banks stopped withdrawals, right? So the banks stopped working for a month. Same thing in Ukraine. Well, Ukraine's kind of recovered a bit. So yeah, there's many risks in many different places. I won't be able, to be honest, everything has risks. So I won't be able to name all of them. It's just that people should understand that risk is not a black and white thing. And then they should learn to judge the level of risk for themselves, because they are more familiar with the things they interact with or use. And that risk management mindset is really, really important. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, and always have a backup way. And I can talk about that for a long time. I would say number one would be classification of crypto. Don't classify it as one asset type. There are certain coins that look like a security. There are certain coins that look like a commodity. Bitcoin is more like a currency. There's other utility coins. So the first one is like not narrow-minded to sort of define all crypto assets as one asset class, a traditional asset class. That's not what crypto is. Then the second thing is obviously to allow exchanges to operate in those countries, ideally with offerings on spot, futures, earn, pay, Binance Pay, payments. The products allow us to offer the product we already have today and maybe more. And then KYC AML is important. Almost every single regulator is doing it. But more on the operations of the exchange. What are the ways to store wallet security? How do we ensure that? Asset proof of reserves. How do we do it? That will come. Whether stable coins are allowed, or what type of stable coins are allowed. Whether ICOs are allowed. We of course prefer ICOs are allowed because we think that's one of the killer apps in crypto. Whether NFTs, metaverse, GameFi, or what are the parameters in those areas, and taxes. How do we tax transactions, capital gains, corporate income, etc. We want clarity on those things, so there's many. So we would like to have permission to do all of those things with with a very strong degree of transparency, disclosure. So I think disclosure is completely fine. Transparency is completely fine.
Do you agree that price doesn't matter in the short term? Leave a comment if you found the content interesting. Click in like button. It really helps the channel find viewers similar to you. If you're new to the channel or haven't subscribed to it, click in subscribe button. We post content daily to keep you up to date on the current market and news. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.